Evening peeps, welcome back to the channel. That's not what you're meant to be looking at. You're meant to be looking at that. So, the We Are Driven team still pushing Archie's Journey. Make sure you get yourselves over to Facebook on Archie's Journey page. Go join the We Are Driven page as well. And go get yourselves over to Bradley Lowry Foundation and go click that like button on there as well. Once you've done that, get yourselves over to justgiving.com/campaign/Archie's Journey. After you've learnt a little bit more about the story, and then go drop a little donation on there. Thank you very much. Right, let me just make that a little bit smaller. Now you can look at that. Okay, I've got conflicting things going on. Oh my god. I've got round 5 on one screen, round 7 on the other. But either way, we are live from Suzuka tonight. 2 lobbies running for you guys. We've got me running the Pro lobby. We've got CJW Racing running the Pro-Ams over on Twitch. So if you're here for the Pro-Ams, get yourselves over to CJW Racing on Twitch. He's doing them. So yes, Suzuka. Popular one with the Gr3 League. Let's have a look at some points, shall we? So, leading the way at the minute is TNR Philo in first with 202 points. That was after Red Bull Ring in the wet last week. Potter McPot in second with 183 points. NRT Bobby in third with 177 points. Jambu fourth with 162 points. We've got Ben Cosgrove in fifth with 161 points. Full Send 87, 121 points for sixth. Fat Pickles Bro seventh. 115 points. We've got 87 points for Surfer Ev. Apologies. 97 points for Surfer Ev in 8th. 95 points for Purzel in 9th. We've got CRT Miggins in 10th with 90 points. And we just jump to the other half of the table. That's the wrong one again. G Marge then in 11th with 88 points. We've got TRG Obi-Wan 12th with 76 points. 67 points on board for John Raz in 13th. Punani in 14th with 66 points. And at the back of the pack, CRT Millerman with 56 points. 56 points. Good. Right, so that's points. Let's just remind you, we've got bits and bobs ready for you lots. Let's get ourselves in then. So 50-minute endurance for you lot tonight. A 50-minute quali, which it looks like they're out on. So they do have to use all 3 compounds of tyre in this race, and they are not allowed to stop 4 tyres. They can't do like a lap on hards and ditch those after lap 1 and come in. I think it's the end of lap 3 they've got to wait till. I could be wrong. Could be the end of lap 5. We'll see. But 50 minutes around this tricky little circuit. May see 1 or 2 drivers getting it a little bit wrong through the Degners. Maybe turn 1 as well. Tricky little circuit, this one. Right. Let's get ourselves on board. Potter McPot, lobby host. Let's turn the usual nonsense on. Why do I always skip past that now? You thought muscle memory would kick in, wouldn't you? So, Purzel leading us through then. No, he's not. Come on. Okay, they've already done outlaps. Perzel slowly slotting himself further and further down the order. So holding pole at the minute. Still got drivers to cross the line. Bobby has got himself a 157.3 in the Lamborghini. Still rocking the Daft Punk livery as well. Ben Cosgrove, Team Digital Car Culture, he's sitting in second. 157.5. Potter McPot sitting in third position. 157.6. Great big chunk of a Corvette. Got Jambu sitting in fourth, 157.7. Again, these positions probably will change. Here's Ben Cosgrove's teammate, TNR Philo. 158.0 for Philo. Putting in purple sectors though. TRG Obi-Wan, 6th at the minute, 158.3. Perzel, who just saw him cross the line first, but slowly moved down the order, sitting in 7th with a 158.6. CRT Miggins with a 158.7 for 8th. Punani in 9th with a 159.8. We've got Surfer Ev in 10th, also in the Corvette, 2 minutes, 0.3. P1 Tatey, 2 minutes and 3 seconds, 0.3, driving the Ferrari. John Raz in the Mustang. He's got a 157.8 on the board, but it's not counted. He must have picked up a penalty somewhere. Fat Pickles Bro, again, same thing. CRT Millerman, 14th, again, no hot lap on the board. 202 is quickest. G Marge, same thing, 158.7. Big shout out to the sponsors as well. Over to Team Oliver Racing and Martin Oliver Transport. Stuart and Michael over there. Martin, I suppose. You can see the boys rocking the Team Oliver logos, Team Oliver Racing logos on the car. Big shout out to Dave at Infinity Decals as well. Big shout out to Colin. I think that's your real name. Over at DCC. Big shout out to all the boys over at We Are Driven as well. Big shout out to CJ. Big shout out to CJ. Okay, there we go. Philo's purple sectors were showing us his true form. 157.2 he's put in. He's a 10th quicker than Bobby. Bobby's just come out of the pits on a fresh set of tyres though. Let's see what he can do. He can get it sideways into the wall just before the Degners. Damage on heavy, so that's that lap over for Bob. It's a trip to the pits to get the front and rear of that car straightened out. Oh, Bob. There's too many ducks, Bob. That's what it is. If you know, you know. It's all about those ducks with Bob. Let's stick ourselves on Ben Cosgrove burning a bit of fuel off then. I wonder if he comes in the pits. Let's find a driver. Okay, TRG Obi-Wan. Let's go for a lap on board with the Jedi. Down this long straight towards turn 1. Can be a little bit tricky. Like I say, there's a great big chunk of AstroTurf running on the outside. You don't want to get your wheels on that, that's for sure. Hitting both of those apexes. Trying to carry as much speed as possible on the way out into the S's. And through the anti-banked curve. Saw Bob just getting it wrong coming out of the end of here into Dunlop. The left-hand version of Dunlop. This is where we saw Bobby getting it wrong. Probably dipping a wheel on the outside of the track there and just spinning into the wall on the left. Down into Degner 1 then. Carrying as much speed all the way out to the left-hand side of the track. Cutting the apex for the second part. Again, ooh, a little bit twitchy on the way out there for TRG Obi-Wan. Down towards the hairpin then. Hard on the brakes down here. Does he go to second or first gear? Keeps it in second. rolls out then, heading up towards 200R. And here we go. Through the little crest, round the right, down towards Spoon. Again, tricky little corner with the AstroTurf on the outside. Got to try and hit all those curves really to make it efficient. But again, just got to be careful of those AstroTurf sections. And then up this back stretch towards the infamous 130R. 6 gear, 154. He has a slight lift through there, not a full lift for TRG Obi-Wan. And then into the final little chicane section. Easy to get it wrong through there as well. Easy to chuck far too much power on, and it would have just gone around that final turn for the end of that lap. Thank you very much, TRG Obi-Wan. Philo then chucks himself in the pits as well. So, TNR Philo still first, Bobby still second, Ben Cosgrove third, 157.4. Potter McPot now fourth, 157.6. Ooh, Jambu chucking himself into third position, 157.4 for Jambu. Pushes Ben down a position, Potter down a position. Miggins, sixth position, 158.3. Driving the Jag. TRG Obi-Wan then out the pits, fresh set of tyres. Just been on board with a lap with him. On a lap with him. With a lap on him. Purcell 8th, 158.5. We've got Fat Pickles taking on fresh rubber as well, 158.7 on board for him. John Raz also in the pits getting on fresh rubber. What time did he have? A 159.1. Surf has put a 159.4 in. He's stuck himself in 11th for the time being. Oh, someone just coming back on track, pushing him down to 12th. Punani 13th, 159.8. We've got Tatey in now 15th. He's on a 2:01.9 for Tatey. 3 Ferraris in the lobby tonight. They do sound good. How are we all doing then, peeps? We okay? I was a bit late on the post tonight, peeps. Apologies. Potter McPot then sneaky while I was just reaching for a drink, chucks himself a 157.2 in, 157.1 in. TNR Philo, fresh set of tyres for him to have a play with now though. Bobby putting in little purple sectors. What can Bobby do? Another purple, half a second up. Got to get this last section perfectly right. A little bit drifty when he came out of the chicane, but nothing too much. He does stick himself back on pole. 0.3 of a second quicker than Potter's time, so 156.779 for Bob. Potter then also out on a fresh set of tyres. He's got 2 minutes left. TNR Philo third then. He's still on that 157.2. Jambu fourth, 157.4. Ben Cosgrove fifth, 157.4 as well. CRT Millerman in sixth. He's on a 157.8. A lie. G Marge just sneaking through for a 157.7. Takes that sixth position off of CRT Millerman. 157.8 for Miller. Purcell 8th, 158.1. CRT Miggins in 9th, 158.3. TRG Obi-Wan 10th, 158. Oh, flicked too quick, 158.3. Fat Pickles 11th, 158.7. John Raz 12th, he's got a 159.1. Punani He's got himself a 159.3, 13th. Surfer Ev 14th, 159.4, and Tatey 15th at the minute, 201.9. He has got himself a 158, but it's not counted. So yes, a little bit more strategy needed in these longer races. All three compounds must be used, and only once. And as said, you can't drop your, you can't come in the pits for tyres before the end of lap 3. I think it's the end of lap 3. Let me just check that. Let me just check that, shall I? You must use... Okay, I'll shut up. So, tyres for the race, you are only permitted to use one set of each tyre, racing soft, racing medium, or racing hard, and you must use all three sets within the race. You can pit as many times as you need for repairs and fuel. So make sure before you press the X button, several people do that, enter the pits and then come out the pits without tyres. No mandatory pit stops or pit window to be followed tonight. Okay. So Philo going quicker, 156.8, so he chucks himself back into second. Ben Cosgrove as well has gone quicker, 156.8 as well. Pushes Potter all the way down to fourth position. Ben Cosgrove and TNR Philo probably working together a little bit, using each other's slipstream. No bump drafting allowed in this. Big shout out to Ghost Viper Gaming as well, new subscriber. Cheers, buddy. Get yourselves over to Ghost Viper Gaming. He's on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, all those. Right, where's Bob gone? So 50 minutes quali is over. It does say TNR Philo on pole, but we're missing a NRT Bobby at the minute, and Bobby was on pole. So Bobby needs to get himself back on track. Oh my god. There's too many players disappearing. A few drivers having practice starts then. Probably going to have a couple of minutes break before qualifying and the race, just because it's a 50-minute enduro. We do give the lads a bit of time just to have a little bit of a rest in between. Timbers, wham! How you doing, brother? Tatey's in the house, my friend. Tatey's in the house. He's got himself up into 10th. He's got a 201.8 on the board. Oh. I think we've got drivers yet to cross the first time in line, so that might not last very long. Here comes Bob. Back in the lobby. G-Marge also back in the lobby, as is CRT Miggins. Hopefully we get... Is that all drivers in the room now? Yeah, so we've got all 15. Bob does go across that timing line. Why would it flick to Bob? There he is. So Bob just crosses that timing line to regain his rightful pole position. Only just quicker than TNR Philo. And that's it. Everyone pulls over then. Nobody allowed to carry on doing hot laps. You can have a little bit of a practice, but, you know, don't be crossing the line with that awesome time after qualifying's finished. Go for a drift like Bob's doing, look. Or G-Marge. G-Marge is going for the drift. Almost G-Marge, almost. So has that put Tatey all the way back down to 13th or 14th? Ah, okay, Potter and Punani. So Tatey, yes, I think Tatey's last. We're starting at 20:55 then. I don't even know what time it is now. 51, a couple of minutes to wait then. Most drivers just taking it a little bit easy. Calm before the storm. Fat Pickles, already taken that set of tyres out. That was bound to happen with 4 minutes remaining. John Raz being all sensible. Surf Ev, not so much. Fat Pickles in the background trying to take his rims out now. Tatey parked up. Rocking the DCC and the dark smoker on the side. Good lad. Punani in the pits. Potter's left so he can go and sort the lobby grid out. And a couple more minutes and we'll be underway. Let me put a little smoko together. I can hear tyres being destroyed in the background. TNR Philo trying to intimidate Bob. He's not. But, you know, looks like it. Watch my starts, bruv, yes? Watch my starts, mate, yeah? Better than yours, bruv. Yeah? Look at him, bullying Bob, look. Aww. Philo, I didn't think you were like that, man. Can't believe it. Poor Bob. He probably asked for it. If they're in a chat together, quite possibly. Ben Cosgrove, the second of the DCC drivers. TRG Obi-Wan in the background trying to squeeze every drop of life out of that set of tyres. Fresh set of mediums on board. Go on, Obi-Wan. He's up into fourth. Gonna get it into sixth. It's in. Go on, slam it to fifth. There it is. Oh, tiny little touch of the wall. He's up there. Just needs that sixth gear, full revs. There it is. Taking them long to go through a set of tyres at all. They don't burn out when you go on the grass, funnily enough. Giving that up. G-Marge hasn't. So that should pretty much be it. Next week, right, next week, I want to see one of you lot take out a set of front tyres in between races or between quali and racing. Let's see if you can do that. All right, George. All right, you finished them off, mate. Right, here we go then. 50-minute enduro for you lot. Suzuka Circuit awaits. Bobby Bristow, let's go! NRT Bobby in the chat then. Don't be paying attention to this chat, Bob. Get on with the race. Ben Cosgrove with the wipers on tonight. So Bobby's going to lead us away. TNR Philo second, Ben Cosgrove third, Jambu in fourth, Potter fifth, TRG Obi-Wan sixth, G-Marge seventh, CRT Millerman in eighth, Miggins ninth, Purcell 10th, they're away. John Raz in, oh, his position's changing already. Fat Pickles 11th. Let's stick with these front two. Philo getting a great start down the inside of Bob. Takes the lead of the race. Bob now sandwiched between the two DCC drivers. Obi-Wan getting a good start up into fourth. Potomac Pot fifth, making up a position as well. Oh, are you fifth anyway? Miggins into sixth, Jambu seventh. Oh, CRT Millerman. It's a little bit sideways around there. It's kicking up the sparks as he comes through side by side with Jambu as they head down towards Degners. There might be some glitching going on there. These two might actually be stuck together. There's some sideways-ness going on with one of these cars. Purcell then 9th, Tatey in 10th, Punani 11th, John Raz in 12th, Purcell 13th, Fat Pickles 14th, G-Marge in 15th. Off the pace as well, 4 seconds down for G-Marge. All kicking off early on in this race. Philo and Bobby then pulled time 1.2 seconds over now. Third place Ben Cosgrove. Oh, Obi-Wan wide through Spoon. Again, oh, on the way back in. Trying to keep it in a straight line. Caught someone else. Jambu's dinked into the back of him. No damage, luckily. But it slowed him down. It's put him under pressure from teammate and family member. Purcell and Jambu side by side into 130R. Purcell goes wide. Doesn't stick it in the wall. Oh, still got some issues. Is it Millerman again? I'm sure he's just driven through a car. But 7th, not bolted onto the side of anybody now. Jambu in 8th, Tatey in 9th, John Raz in 10th, Surfer Ev 11th, Punani in 12th, Fat Pickles 13th, G-Marge, why wouldn't it go to G-Marge 14th, and Purcell now 15th. Running himself all the way off track. Philo then pulled himself 1.1 seconds over Bob. Potter's got himself into third. Slung himself past Ben Cosgrove somewhere. Also getting him past himself out of the danger zone of CRT Miggins, who was putting a bit of pressure on him. Obi-Wan then got it wrong through Spoon. Still on track, not too far off CRT Miggins either. He's got Millerman only 0.7 back. Hopefully Millerman's connection a bit better. G-Marge. Stretching out already here at Suzuka. Philo pulling 1.6 seconds over Bob on the medium tyre for Philo in this first stint. Bobby's also on the medium tyre. Potomac Pot medium tyre on board for him. Ben Cosgrove's gone for the hards for his first stint. Okay, we'll see how that plays out for him. Lose a bit of time to those top three for starters. Might come under pressure from some of these drivers behind as well. CRT Miggins 5th, medium tyres. Mediums for 6th place CRT Millerman. Mediums and a little bit of front end damage for TRG Obi-Wan. Got Jambu on the hards in the BMW behind, piling the pressure on Obi-Wan in front, up the inside into the chicane. Jambu then through to 7th, TRG Obi-Wan 8th. Tatey now looking for that position. He'll get a good run on TRG Obi-Wan. Give me. What? There we go. Carries so much more speed does the Ferrari through there. TRG Obi-Wan thought about outbraking him. Almost ran himself wide as well. Tatey then through into 8th position. Obi-Wan with that little bit of damage just going to be causing him some issues down the longer straights. And now Tatey's got to concentrate on Jambu in front, only 0.8 of a second away. Ferrari sounding good. Obi-Wan looking to come back at Tatey down towards Degner. Backs off, allows Tatey to keep it. Tatey exploring those track limits. And again through Degner 2, a little bit wide. TRG Obi-Wan's going to carry the speed down towards the hairpin. Gets that position back then. For how long with that little bit of damage on the front? Like I say, it's just going to slow him down a tiny little bit compared to the drivers without damage. Let's see what's just happening behind these two. John Maz 10th, Surfer 11th, Punani 12th, G-Marge, Fat Pickles and Purzel all battling it out for 13th, 14th, 15th. Down into Spoon again. Oh, G-Marge sideways on the way in. Fat Pickles got closed down by Purzel through there. Purzel, oh, a little bit twitchy on the way out for Purzel. Lost a bit of time to Fat Pickles. I bet he was chopping at the wheel there. He's kept in the slipstream of Fat Pickles as well. He might be able to make a move. He chucks himself up the inside. Allows Fat Pickles through though. Just backs off on the way in. But still within striking distance. He is sitting in that final place position, but three drivers pretty close in front of him really, with Punani just there. Fat Pickles getting a toe off G-Mard. That's not helping Purzel close that gap up. Into turn 1 again. Let's get ourselves back up front. See if TNR Philo's really taking the mick now. Yeah, of course he is. 3 seconds down the road already. Potter McPot has got himself through into 2nd. Bobby now 3rd. Good drive from Potter. He needs to close that gap up on Philo though. 3.2, 3.5 seconds. All on the same tyre strategies at the minute. Corvette sounding good through there as well. Potter with the We Are Driven logos, smashed on the side, Infinity decals, oh, a little bit twitchy out of there as well. That's going to allow Bob to close up. Lost a little bit more time to Philo in front. Pretty close between Potter and Bob. It's just jumped to 2 seconds back to Ben Cosgrove. He is coming under pressure from CRT Miggins. Up the inside then for Miggins. They head up the hill towards 130R. CRT Miggins Jag running well. Into 4th then for Miggins. And now he's only 2.2 back from Bob. Can he close the gap up? Two seconds, he does. Starting to stretch out now. 2nd plus gaps between. G-Marge still trying to drift that car. You're not in qualifying anymore. Holding on to 13th though. Fat Pickles 14th. Purzel still 15th. Again, closes up down these straights, but with Fat Pickles getting the toe off of G-Marge, nobody able to gain an advantage. And they're only 1.3 back from Punani in front. He's got to be careful he doesn't start getting swamped by the 3 drivers behind. A little bit twitchy, the McLaren. He is on the hard tyre though. It will be a little bit quicker, a little bit more stable on the mediums and the softs. They are closing up on Punani then. Oh, Fat Pickles under braking squarely through there. See G-Marge just trying to put the power down on that thing. It's just squirming all over the place. Tyres is Punani on. We'll have a look at that in a second. Let's get ourselves back up front. And TNR Philo now 4.5 seconds away from Potter McPot. Still putting in purple sectors. Potter McPot and Bob still neck and neck. Oh, Potter getting it a little bit wrong through 130 eyes. Had to run wide. Kept the position though. Oh, twitchy on the way out. Now Bob has a chance to go around the outside. Side by side with Potter down towards turn one. Side by side action between the two drivers there. Again, neck and neck on the way out. Where is fourth place Miggins? Only 1.1 seconds back. Miggins on an absolute charge at the minute. What tyres are you on, Miggins? He's also on the medium tyre. Chopping chunks out of these two in front. So, somebody in the pits. Who's in the pits? Fat Pickles is in the pits. So he's ditched those hards. Chucked himself a fresh set of mediums on. So he's done 11 minutes on the hards. That's not the view we want. So Philo now 6 seconds up front from Potter. Still under threat from Bobby Miggins, closing that gap even more, 0.7 of a second. Ben Cosgrove now 1.3 seconds back from that fight. Get ourselves on with Miggins chasing these two drivers in front. A little bit twitchy through 130R. Doesn't lose any time. Gap up 0.6. Closes up into that chicane as well. Bob gaining a toe from Potter. Not quite helping out Miggins. He is getting drafted a little bit. Not as much as he'd want. He'd want it to be a little bit closer on the way out of the Casino Triangle. Or Casino Chicane. Gap jumps up 2.7 again. Closes up on Bob. Looking pretty stable tonight, the Jag of Miggins. A little bit squirmy there for Bob as well. So into these Degners. Miggins all over the back of NRT Bobby. Gaining more time from 5th place Ben Cosgrove. Ben Cosgrove now coming under threat from CRT Millerman in 6th. Jambu just coming through Degner 2, 4 seconds back, 7th. Obi-Wan in 8th. Still holding that damage. He's 6.4 seconds down. We've got John Raz behind in 9th. He's another 5.3. G-Marge 4.2 seconds down for 10th. Still on those hard tyres. Still trying to get that thing going in a straight line. Punani 11th. Purcell 12th. We've got Tatey in 13th. Surfer Ev 14th. Fat Pickles, medium tyres. Surfer's been in as well. Medium tyres on board for Surfer. Philo going to do a couple more laps, as is Potter, as is Bob, as is Miggins. Miggins a little bit closer this time. Still not close enough before turn 1. again closes up on Bob and Potter. Next lap maybe, if he can stick with Bob. Tyre wear starting to kick in. You hear the tyres squealing under the pressure. Down towards Gr 1, Gr 2. Ooh, a little bit wide there. Controls it well. Loses a tiny bit of time to Bob in front. Philo already through the hairpin and on his way back out. Potter, Bob and Miggins all through there pretty cleanly as well. So Ben's still 1.6 seconds down. CRT Milliman 6th, Jambu 7th. Yeah, some big gaps already. Punani and Purcell are pretty close together. Both on hards, yeah. A little bit more wear on Purcell's tyres. Surfer on that fresh set of mediums. Tatey now still on the hards actually, Tatey. Again, you can see they just struggle a little bit to get the power down on those hard tyres. Don't like pointing in a straight line. Fat Pickles then 15th. He's now only 2.8 seconds down from Tatey. Mercedes looking good. And they're all starting to gather up here. So 7 seconds down for Potter. Bob still 0.6 of a second back. CRT Miggins still all over the back end of Bob. Ben Cosgrove closed that gap down to less than a second, dragging CRT Millerman with him. This could turn into a great big five-way punch-up for second back to sixth. There they are, all in a train, heading down towards this hairpin. Won't be long before they're neck and neck, heading up the back straight. Let's get ourselves on board with Potter. See what it looks like from his perspective. So great big chunks of red showing on those medium tyres for Potter. What are they going to do? Are they going to stick a set of hards on, or are they going to go for softs? Bob drifting it through there, Miggins drifting it through there. Tyre wear really kicking in. Bob closes up, Miggins closes up. Bob drifts it through there as well. Anyone coming in the pits this lap? Let's have a look. Potter decides not to. Neither does Bob, neither does Miggins, neither does Ben, neither does Millerman. Now 2.4 seconds down, unfortunately, so was right on the back end of Ben Cosgrove. Ben Cosgrove coming back at CRT Miggins down that first, down the start finish straight into turn one. Philo then 7.7 seconds down the road. Fastest lap on the board as well, 1:59.004. What are we? Just about 19 minutes into this race. Another second almost, up to 7.9 seconds between first and second. Bobby still third. Miggins still fourth. Ben Cosgrove still not made his way back past for fifth. Made up a fair amount of time though on the three drivers in front. CRT Millerman He'll be kicking himself. He was looking in a good place, closing up on those 4 drivers in front. Obi-Wan holding 7th, yet to stop, still holding damage. John Raz 8th, 3 seconds back. Punani 9th, Jambu all over the rear end, swings himself out. Doesn't get it done into the hairpin for Jambu. Okay, Punani gives him plenty of room then. Jambu slots one through, back up into 9th. Medium tyres on board for Jambu, fresh out the pits. Punani on that worn set of hards, running those for an awful long time. Surfer in 11th. Semi-worn set of mediums on. Fat Pickles in 12th now. Semi-worn set of mediums for him. Tatey still on the hards, 13th. Purcell 14th, racing mediums. And G Marge 15th, racing mediums for him as well. Outlap for G Marge. Philo's out for another lap, so are the rest of the boys. Millerman out the pits then. Gets himself just out. Whoa, a bit of a jump there. We've got 2 cars inside each other. No, that can't be good. CRT Millerman then does get himself just out in front of Jambu, but we did see a little bit of glitching from Millerman, so it might have been a case that Jambu can't even see him on track. That is a possibility. Unfortunately, Gran Turismo servers aren't the most stable. Prone to Godzilla attacks too. Taking the mick now, Philo. 9.8 second lead. Bobby past Potter. All these boys. Oh, Bob's still got plenty of fuel on board actually. Potter's almost out. He slings himself back up the inside. No, he backs out of that one. So Miggins and Ben Cosgrove still bolted onto these two. Everyone dives in the pits. Philo, Potter, Bob, Miggins and Ben Cosgrove. All the pit crews running out. What's their fuel going to be? What fuel are they going to take on? Philo's still holding quarter of a tank, even though he's up front and thrashing it. He's only stuck the... He's only put another quarter of a tank on. He's gone for the hard tyres, so he's going to run those for a very short amount of time. Potter comes out the pits behind TRG Obi-Wan, as does Bob Miggins and Ben Cosgrove. But damage, almost out of fuel as well. Worn set of medium tyres for Obi-Wan. He'll be in the pits in the end of this lap if they don't get past him before that. Potter and Bob then have pulled a fair chunk of time over Miggins and Ben Cosgrove. We'll flick back to those in a second. I'll have a look at tyre and fuel for Potter and Bob. Can Potter get him before the hairpin or at the hairpin? Not yet, maybe on the run down towards Spoon. Carrying a lot more speed there, Potter. Looking for a way through. Obi-Wan just slows down, allows Potter to take that place. Stick in the slipstream, he might stand a chance up the hill against Bob. Bob's right in the slipstream though, he'll get this position before the top of the hill. There he goes. again, TRG Obi-Wan just backing off, allowing these two to come through, knowing it's not his fight at the minute. So let's have a look at Potter's fuel and tyre. He's gone for the half, or just under half actually, and hard tyres. Bobby as well, hard tyres, half a tank, a little bit more than half a tank. TRG Obi-Wan then does chuck himself in the pits this lap. What was Ben Cosgrove doing? He's gone for the medium tyre and 3/4 of a tank. Have you already ridden the medium tyre, Ben? Oh, Miggins off into oblivion. Was there contact? Was there contact between Jambu and Miggins? I'm not too sure. But Millerman goes through into 6. Miggins gets himself back on track, lucky not to pick up any damage. It might have been the hard tyre that's caused that issue. Maybe not used to the grip around that fast turn 1. I'm not calling you out, Jambu, because I'm not saying there was contact. But you were very close. So 7th now for Miggins, under a bit of pressure from Surfer Ev. But it's a worn set of mediums versus a fresh set of hards. Again, a worn set of mediums is still a pretty good set of tyres. As you can see, Surfer Ev looking for the position off of CRT Miggins. Should get a good run down towards the spoon again. So Philo now 13-second lead over Potter McPot. Still got Bobby right there with him, half a second back. Ben Cosgrove now 5.5 seconds back in 4th. Jambu 5th. Only 1.1 back for Jambu. CRT Millerman up into 6th then, with Miggins' little off-track action. He's managed to hold that position from Surfer Ev as well. Oh, for how long? Is Surfer going to risk it into the chicane? No, a little bit too far back. Possibly just going to wait for the start-finish straight to make a move if he can stick within that slipstream range. Losing a bit of time. But he does get a good exit, and he is closing up on Miggins again. I don't think he's going to do it before the end of this straight either. A little bit too far back on that, on the exit of that turn. So Purcell under threat from G Marge. G Marge on a reasonably fresh set of mediums as well. The car looking very stable compared to what it was looking like on the hards. Only 1.8 back for John Raz as well in 11th. Fresh set of mediums on for John. Obi-Wan then, he's out the pits in 12th. Fresh set of hards on board for him. He's gone for just under half a tank himself. Fat Pickles 13th. Medium tyres showing a bit of wear as well. He's got the soft tyre left to play with. Punani has got a reasonably fresh set of mediums on. He ran fairly long on the hards. Sitting in 14th. Tatey just out the pits. Fresh set of mediums on board for him. But 17.7 seconds down from Punani. So race leader TNR Philo stomping it again in the MRC Team Oliver Racing GR3 League. Driving for Team DCC as well. Oh, Cliche will be happy. Cliche will be so happy. Twiggy, how you doing, brother? I was chatting to your mate Ghost Viper gaming the other night. I just happened to notice he'd got a great big We Are Driven logo on his rear spoiler. And like, hey up. I know that. And then he mentioned your name. Do you know Paul Twig? I said, yes, I do. Nothing that Potter and Bob can do about Philo. Oh, they have taken 1/10 out of him. Maybe 2/10. I'll give you 2/10. But Philo's just taken that all back. So these two have been absolutely neck and neck for half an hour, Bob and Potter. 30 minutes into this race, then 20 minutes left. Ben Cosgrove closing that gap down on Potter. He has got a hard and a soft tyre still to play with, but I think he's gone for 2 sets of mediums for now. Doesn't mean he's going to make an extra stop. You get about, dirtbag. Sneaky Jambu's gone and put fastest lap of the race in, a 1:58.691. BMW looking a little bit dinked and dented up. CRT Millerman then holding on to that 6th position. 8 seconds back from Jambu. He's got 8 seconds over CRT Miggins. Got it wrong into turn 1. He's pulled time over Surfer Ev as well. Out of the threat range then from Surfer. Purcell in 9th, 3.4 seconds down. Got John Raz 10th, 2.1 seconds down. We've got TRG Obi-Wan made up a position into 11th, 5.4. Got G-Marge 12th. He is 7.6 second down. Fat Pickles pretty close behind him. 0.8 of a second. Sitting in 13th at the minute for Fat Pickles. We've got Punani 14th. Nearly 14 seconds down for Punani. And then Tatey nearly 22 seconds down for Tatey. And here is race leader. Pulling more time. 14.4 seconds over Potter. Are we going to see these two just have a little bit of a punch up right at the end? Ben Cosgrove closing that gap still, 2.2 seconds. And Jambu hanging on to him, 1.4 seconds back as well. Medium tyres looking a little bit painful though, Jambu. CRT Millerman still 8 seconds down. He was bolted onto the back end of those drivers in front. Made a tiny little mistake and then was about 2 seconds down all of a sudden and out of the slipstream range. And now he's come out of the pits. He's behind Jambu as well. Digital Car Culture livery looking good tonight. So Bobby and Potter in the pits coming in now. Are they going to stick the soft tyres on for the last stint? Oh, that's all they've got left. There's nothing to stop them using another set of tyres afterwards, but it does mean an extra pit stop. I think that's what Ben's trying here. Or he's made a terrible, terrible mistake and he's put 2 sets of mediums on. And he's going to be a very, very naughty boy and get punished. If he doesn't use all 3 sets at least. So, Ben up into 2nd, Jambu into 3rd. Millerman 4th, Miggins 5th, Surfer Ev 6th, Purcell 7th, John Raz 8th. Bob back out the pits in front of Potter. He's got 3/4 of a tank on, fresh set of softs, and 1.6 seconds lead over Potter. Potter's gone for just under 3/4 of a tank, and again fresh set of softs. Closing that gap up on Bob. Oh, sorry, he's closing the gap up on John Raz. Bob's already passed John. Pop will be wanting to do the same thing as tight line through there for Potter. He might even pick himself a penalty for that. It was a brave move. He has got himself past John Raz. He gets away without a penalty as well. Very tight line through Degner too. And now he's still 1.7 seconds behind Bob, who has got a bit of a tow from Purcell in front. TNR Philo, race leader, comes into the pits then. What is Ben Cosgrove going to do? He's still got loads of fuel on. So he stops out. Jambu stops out. He's got a couple of laps of fuel left on board in that BMW. Millerman also stays out. What are you doing, Miggins? Miggins is in the pits now then, so he's going to lose that 5th position. Surfer also in the pits. Here comes Bob. Purcell chucks himself in, and Potter comes through as well. Hope you got Potter. There you are. So Philo back out the pits. Let's just quickly run through the order. Purcell's in the pits. Potter sliding it through turn 1. So Ben Cosgrove up front, but possibly going for an extra pit stop. I'm not too sure, because I think he was on medium tyres at the start of this race, and he's got another set of medium tyres on, but you have got to use the hards and the softs as well. But he's up front, 3 seconds over Jambu at the minute. Jambu sitting in second. TNR Philo back out the pits then. He's now got his soft tyres on, just over half a tank. Under 15 minutes left of this one. Sitting in third for Philo. CRT Millerman in 4th. Hard tyre on. He's got the softs left to play with as well right at the end. Bobby 5th. Potter McPot has closed that gap up as well in 6th. So down to a second less than now as they hit the hairpin. John Raz 7th. Again, yet to take his final stop for John. 4.2 seconds down. CRT Miggins. Fresh set of softs on board for Miggs. He is 19.3 seconds down. Surfer Ev back out the pits. Fresh set of softs on board for him as well. 3.5 seconds down. Purcell. Fresh set of softs. 5 seconds down. He's got Punani. Oh, the threat from Obi-Wan. Side by side. Obi-Wan. Where have you gone? Into the gravel. That's not the best. There he is, just gets himself back on track. So side by side with Punani into the hairpin. I think just dinked a couple of wheels on the grass. You can see him struggling to keep it in a straight line. When he did finally get it back on the tarmac, not able to get the brakes on in time, I think. So all the way down to 12th then for Obi-Wan. I say all the way down to 12th. He was battling it out with Punani anyway. But now 6.8 seconds down from that fight. Fresh set of tyres on board though. He will close that gap back up. Punani will get a fresh set on as well. And he'll be out of that fight himself. So Ben Cosgrove, 10-second lead. Philo is second. Bob now 14 seconds, 14.5 seconds down for third. Still got Potter hounding him for that position. Purple sector's there for Potter as well. So Jambu 5th. He's got himself past John Raz. Still got that soft tyre to play with for John. Millerman 7th. Oh, it's all kicking off down the start-finish straight, I think. Who's that? Here we go, Tatey 13th. We've got G Marge and Punani. G Marge pitted a lap ago. Punani has only just come out. Fresh set of softs on board for him. Just over half a tank. Let's see if he can make his way past G Marge and Tatey. Tatey struggling, trying to stay out of the way of the two McLarens as they come through. Should make light work of it, the soft tyre versus the worn out set of mediums. Tatey then yet to take his last stop. So Ben Cosgrove, gap coming down, 8 seconds between himself and teammate Philo. Still 14.5 between Philo and Bob. Potter lost a bit more time as well, 1.1 seconds down. Jambu then 5th. This is really one of the closest fights. I am interested to know what's going on with Ben though. What's going on with Ben? Chris B, evening brother. Ben started on hards, did he? Am I just not paying attention? Okay, I'll shut up then. I thought he came out on a set of mediums. But there you go. Thank you for your assistance. So will he come in this lap then? He's got less than 10 minutes on a set of softs. What's he doing? In the pits? In the pits? Yes, he does. Here comes Philo through the same chicane. What's the gap going to be? Is Ben going to lose these positions to Bob and Potter? Where are you, Ben? Gets his fresh boots on. He's taking on board the fuel now. I think they've got him, but Ben Cosgrove will be on that lovely fresh set of rubber. So Philo then out front, 15 seconds over NRT Bobby. Still got 1.6 over Potter. Potter has got now 5 seconds over 4th place Ben. Can he put those fresh set of softs to good use? All 3 drivers in front are on the softs. Jambu behind him is on the softs as well. Not too much wear on those. Actually carrying less fuel than Ben Cosgrove as well. Millerman holding that 6th position. Miggins unable to get that position back after his trip nearly into the wall at turn 1. He was lucky to keep it out the bloody wall, to be honest. So pulls more time over Surfer, 5.8 seconds. Purcell now 3.8 seconds down in 9th. John Raz 10th, 3.4 back. Looking a little bit fresher than Purcell in front. See if this comes to anything before the end of this race. TRG Obi-Wan 11th. Fat Pickles in 12th. G-March 13th. Punani in 14th. Tatey back in the pits then, getting rid of those worn out softs. Mediums, sorry. Philo taking back fastest lap of the race, a 1:57.2 on lap 22. Little flash of the lights to Tatey, just to remind him he's coming through. Bob then starting to stretch away from Potter. Only 7 minutes remaining from this race. Ben Cosgrove has taken a second out of that time between himself and Potter as well. It was 5 seconds, it's now 4. Can he get himself a podium position before the end of this race? Can Jambu get himself up there as well? Hanging on to the rear end of Ben Cosgrove in front. And everybody else pretty much stretched out now. Big old gaps between all the drivers. Bob then still pulling more time over Potter. Not making up time on TNR Philo though, 15.5 seconds still. 2.7 over Potter. Potter must have made a little mistake because Ben Cosgrove is now only 2.7 seconds back as well, so he's made up that 1.3 seconds. Jambu out of the slipstream range, 1.2 seconds back himself. So how much have we got left? 5 minutes 20. Keep the pace up, he should be able to keep this position from Ben Cosgrove. It's taking a little bit more time out of him. A lot fresher tyres as well, carrying a lot more speed through the turns for Ben Cosgrove. Gap down to 2.2 seconds. Still got Jambu just a second back. So it's going to be a battle for this final podium position by the looks of things. Potter currently sitting in it. Got 3 laps remaining. It's gap still at 2.2 seconds between third and fourth. Jambu still just under a second back. No, Mr. Twig. I think it was a Corvette. I think it was what we're watching now. Potter McPotts. Great big Corvette wing. That's the one. Spread the word. Yeah, as soon as I mentioned the We Are Driven team, he chucked your name in the mix. So the word's getting out there, mate. The word is getting out there. Philo then, disgusting amount of time. 16.5 seconds lead over NRT Bobby. He's got himself 3 seconds over Potter. Potter also gap right down to half a second. On board with Ben Cosgrove then, looking at the rear end of Potter McPott in front, closing up into this final chicane. It's going to be almost an impossibility for Potter to hold this position. Still 0.4 of a second as they head down this start-finish straight. Closing up for Ben. He thinks about it, not close enough into turn one. All over the back of that Corvette. American muscle versus Italian going on right here. Where's Jambu? So he's still only 1.5 seconds back. Can't discount him from this fight yet. Potter is going to struggle to keep this. He's got... Oh, Ben, no. Ben's chucked it in the wall. Ben, oh, Ben. Oh, he's looking for a way past Potter around the outside. Dipped a wheel on the grass and... that's the result. He's fired himself into the wall. He's not picked up masses of damage, but he has picked up damage and he's losing time. He's losing positions down into 6th as well for Ben. And he was on for that final podium position. Just a little bit too eager, I think. Got a couple of big long straights out of the hairpin on the run down to... what's it much call it? Spoon. I nearly couldn't remember that. So he could have got him through here where we're running now. Right, it's a nice long straight. Potter McPott would have struggled to get the power down coming out of the hairpin. Could have done it there. Could have waited till the back stretch. Just, you know, follow Potter nice and calmly through here. Zup zup blum, you could have had him, but no. So unfortunately, Ben is now in 6th position. Teammate Philo, on the other hand, is now 17 seconds up the road in 1st place. A minute left on the race clock. Philo almost out of fuel. This will become final lap then. So Potter, not out of danger yet. He's got Jambu, the tyres really hurting Potter. Oh, wrong driver. So battered that set of softs. We've got Jambu behind, a little bit better wear on his tyres, so might be able to put the pressure on Potter before the end of this race. Again, got a couple of opportunities to do it. Closes up through the Degners. Down towards the hairpin. Again, on the run out of the hairpin. We'll have to see what Jambu can do. Thinks about slinging one up the inside there. Again, both drivers just struggle to get the power down. So it does tick over to a final lap then. Where is TNR Philo? Let me just find out where he is. Okay, we're going to have to watch him cross the line, I think. Because he's far too far up the road. Jambu is past Potter. Potter might be able to get a run back up the hill though. Oh, why would you do that now? Philo's going to come home to take the race win then. No. Screw you, Bob. Oh, side by side, Potter and Jambu. Potter just squeezes it through around the outside at 130R. Jambu doing anything he can, looking for a way through just at the end of this race. Bob is going to take second place. Screw you, Bob. Potter McPotts does take third position. Jambu takes fourth. Real good battle at the end of that. Sorry, Bob, I'm only joking, mate. Love you, mate. Second place for Bob. Potter McPott takes third. Jambu takes fourth. CRT Millerman will be very happy with fifth position. Ben Cosgrove will not be so happy with sixth position. Miggins takes seventh. Surfer Ev round this final turn then. He's going to take eighth, but only just. Purcell closes up on him before the end of that one. So eighth for Surfer Ev, ninth for Purcell. John Raz as well, not too far off that fight in 10th. Obi-Wan coming home for 11th. Fortunately, Obi-Wan's had a couple of little off-track moments as well. Fat Pickles just comes around that final turn. So he comes home for 12th, and G-Marge, Tatey and Punani, or Punani and Tatey, have already crossed the line. And that was that. Millerman. So, 1 second, peeps, because I am as confused as you are. Hold on. I didn't put it on last week either. Okay, so that was Suzuka MRC's Team Oliver Racing League. Always good racing in that one. TNR Philo. I think you need some lead weight added to your car, or an anchor or something like that. Great result for him. It is. Great result for him too. I see it. I see it. So that's it. It does say round 5 on the screen. It is round 7, I think. I'm all confused myself because I didn't even put it on last week. Yes, it is. So, back next week, same time, same place. I myself am back tomorrow night at 9 o'clock for the P1RC boys and their Archie's Journey Mazda Challenge League. And then I'm back Friday night at 9 o'clock for GTTCC, covering the Fusion League. That's GR4 class. Nothing Saturday night. Back on Sunday night for Tanso Racing Boys at 8 o'clock for the Ford Focus Creative Motorsport Cup. Followed straight after that by 9 o'clock by the P1 Boys again and Archie's Journey Multi-Class League. That's Sunday night, 9 o'clock. Monday night, I've got Tanso Boys again with the Chewit Racing Mini Cooper Cup. Tuesday is the semi-finals of the Clash of the Teams. So come and check that out. No problem, Potter McPots. No problem, Fat Pickles. No problem, TRG Obi-Wan. Yes, so the semi-finals of Clash of the Teams on Tuesday night. That's at 8 o'clock. Early start for that one. Been some really good racing in that one. And then back next week for the following round of this. Come and check it out. Fancy yourself getting involved? Hit the teams up. Hit me up. We'll put you in contact and links and stuff. That's how it works. It doesn't. You can get yourself onto the Mature Racing Club page on Facebook if you want. That'll do it. So, don't forget to get yourselves over to... That's the wrong bloody picture. That's the right picture. Over to Archie's Journey on Facebook. Get yourselves over to the We Are Driven page on Facebook. Get yourselves over to the Bradley Lowry Foundation on Facebook. And then get yourselves over to justgiving.com/campaign/Archie's Journey and drop a little donation on there if you can. Thank you very much. Busy, busy. Yes, you know it, Paul Twig. You know it. So that's pretty much it for me. I hope you've liked what you've watched. If you have, give it a like, a subscribe. Tell your mates, tell your mums. My name's Dark Smoker. I'm out of here.